So let's talk syllabus for Intro Engineering Design. Quick course description, focus a lot on problem solving and the design process and 3D modeling and bringing an idea to life. So if you're going to break this down by the outline, there's more detail here, about each unit. But we have design and problem solving. We're going to do some design basics, visualization, CAD fundamentals, some assembly design. We'll start putting stuff together and thinking about the materials that we use. Thoughtful product design, where we start taking things from start to finish. And then making things move, where we start to make an automata at the end and thinking about the forces and the friction that gets involved with both modeling and physically creating something. So that's kind of the breakdown. Course resume talks about the skills that are transferable that comes from this. That's PLTW material that they made. In terms of materials that you need, headphones, because there'll be a lot of back and forth in terms of listening to certain videos and things like that. The desktops don't do Bluetooth, but obviously your phones and your Chromebooks do, so I'll leave that up to you. Pen and pencil. Engineering journal, these will be supplied to you. You can do a different one if you want. And a folder. Most of the stuff we do will be digital. Occasionally there'll be stuff that you're kind of keeping track of, any little quizzes and things like that, and some resources. The digital classroom. So obviously we're using Google Classroom to create, distribute, and push out and grade all assignments. The public website is just that, public website, bit.ly/jcentral. Gets info about the course, the calendar, syllabus, any blog updates that we do about what's happening in the course. So that's kind of our public-facing side. The curriculum site is my.pltw.org. So that's where a lot of the activities, it is a Project Lead the Way. PLTW is a national organization, so they have a national curriculum. So there's lots of people across the country taking Intro to Engineering Design right now, all doing very similar things. So that's where we're going to base a lot of our projects and activities on, is from that, and with some adaptations of our own. And of course, Infinite Campus is where you're going to go for your grades and anything official. So we'll talk a little bit later about being self-paced, but anything that is past the due date will go in as missing, and missing counts for a 0 until you finish it, turn it in, and then it will replace that grade. It'll update to whatever it needs to be. Moving on to thinking about assessment and grading in general. So in my mind, your grade is a reflection of your knowledge and skill. I want to make sure it stays up to that. So most of it, 90%, is based on those standards that are listed at the end here. These are the things you should know or be able to do, and you're going to be judged based on that. Sometimes they'll be listed separately, the standard by itself. Sometimes a couple standards will be listed under a certain project, and it'll make more sense to list the project. But I'll try to make it clear through a lot of rubrics as to what you're being assessed by. And that's going to be what's there. Anything in that assessment category is almost always revisable, so you can improve upon that grade and show me that you know more things, that your skill has improved, and that grade will update to show that. There is a master rubric linked here, and they break things down kind of into 3 categories: advanced, proficient, basic. I tend to break things into 5 categories with most rubrics that we do, and that's exemplary, 100%, proficient, 88%, developing, 75%, beginning, 62%, and no evidence, 50%. Sometimes I reserve the right, if I'm waffling or you're between things, to give a 92 or a 78 or an 82 sometimes. Usually I'll just try to stick to this for simplicity. Overall, the final grade each quarter is 20%. There will be a midterm exam of everything we did up to that point, and a final exam worth 10% each. The final exam is a national end of course assessment that's facilitated through Project Lead the Way. And I should get those results back from them. It's all online. I actually get the results back from them. It is free and required. So yes, seniors, even you, it is required for you as well. A little more about the course and the policies and procedures. It is self-paced to a degree, at least within the quarter that we're working on. So you do all work needs to be caught up by the end of the quarter. That's our hard deadline as to what needs to be turned in. After that, no late work will be accepted. But while we're in the midst of it, there's no penalty for late work. Get the help you need, ask the questions you have to ask, and give me your best work. That's the whole point. Reach out early and often. The engineering journal. So this is going to track all of the things we do along the way in chronological order as we work on things, as we sketch things, as we take notes from stuff. You'll take pictures of that and add it to the classroom as you do work in it. And that's going to be checked for clarity, completeness, thoroughness. There's a standard that goes with engineering communication and documenting your process clearly. And that's what that standard will be assessing. And usually, once per quarter, I'll be looking at that engineering journal, making sure it's up to date, and you're kind of following all of that. If that doesn't go well and you want me to check it again, let's get that in before the end of the quarter. That brings me to revisions. As we mentioned, anything in that assessment category, I've designed in such a way, I and POW is designed in such a way that we can continually improve upon it, and that grade will improve once you've demonstrated further knowledge, more skill, etc. So that'll update. Phones are often away by default. That said, they are useful tools when it makes sense to use them as useful tools. We need to take pictures occasionally for things and calculators and whatnot. But make sure they are a tool and not a distraction. If you need help, ask for it. Seek it early and often. That's the whole point. Connect with teammates. Email me. I usually check during the school day and then like beginning of the school day, end of the school day, and then usually after 8 p.m. because from 4 to 8, I have my dad hat on. Commenting on Google Classroom, that will push out to my email as well. If you need me to look at something specific in a document, comment in that doc and use the @ symbol in the comment and add my email. So that pushes me not just the comment, but also takes me to that point in the document that you want me to look at. So that's super helpful. Flexbox is obviously open, and connect with me if you ever want to get back onto these computers because you want to use them for more 3D modeling stuff, or you have studies you want to use. We can be flexible with that. And that's the gist of it. After this is the standards. So these are the things we're actually learning kind of at the high level, competencies and domains. There's more specifics in this master rubric, but I basically take that and break it up and to apply it to all the different projects that we do. So you'll see that as we go. And that is Intro to Engineering Design.